let me tell you, when you go through life and you first make it out, right? And you're on your own, or you just really decide to put your best foot forward and run after your dreams, you really learn that wish and will is not enough. You got to be persistent, and that can kind of take away that faith. You got to fight to have faith, man. And there were times in my life where I just had to expect things to be hard. And I'm just not entering a season where I'm like, okay, I'm trying certain things over again, and either the whole system changed, or it's just the right time now because everything seems so much easier. I'm like, did y'all change it? And why is it so easy now? Either A, I got used to being diligent. I got used to just, putting my head down and getting through it. Or yeah, I think that's really what it is. I think I built a type of strength, and I put my armor on, and I really feel like what used to feel like a heavy load is just like, okay, been there, done that. I think that's what it is. Because when you first start, you get into adulthood, and you're like, I wish this, and I expect to work, hon. But I'm just grateful that I'm coming to a season where, I can, I have more capacity. I have the capacity to hold on, and I have the capacity to where things don't feel so much as a burden anymore. I'm used to life. I am used to life, baby. Thank God. Because I was thinking about that earlier. I was doing some. I was just, retrying something, re-entering something, and this time it just felt so much easier because I remember the burden it felt like last time, and I'm like, it don't feel like that this time. Thank God. Shoot, whatever it is, I'm grateful. With that being said, welcome to episode 5. I started this podcast, like I started clips before, like building into the podcast, like longer episodes. But I started the longer episodes last week, and it's week number 2, and we're on episode 5. We're grinding this out, baby, because it used to be you could post like once in a while, as long as the quality is good, and you'd be okay. But now you got to post like 1 to 4 times a day, and people don't mind the authenticity as much as they did before. So you might as well just crack them out. We're going to be talking about herbal cocktails, diet changes for mental health, our usual tarot reading, angel numbers, more health tips, more life experiences that we can all relate to. Just being your little big sis, whatever, you know, got the red lip, teeth to match. Let's get into it. Okay, so number one, super important. I want to talk about the inner critic that we develop, especially when you've been neglected as a child and you've had to parent yourself in certain areas and you just don't know where to begin. You can start to develop a critic that resembles or personifies the people you do have in your life. So, for example, I'd imagine what if my mother was present in this area, what she would say, even though she's never been present in that area. So, which means that whatever I'm imagining she'd say is probably way off because I've never experienced her being present in that area, which can focus a lot of us up because we're guessing and we're being hard on ourselves in areas that we probably need to be hard on ourselves in. And sometimes the people that we choose to personify our critic around is toxic, right? A lot of our mothers had toxic tendencies, and we tend to be too hard on ourselves, and we tend to punish ourselves where we should have been nurturing. We When we develop the critic of our parents or the people around us, we can put toxicity on ourselves that we just don't deserve. We see the toxicity as a guide, as a teacher, and we develop that as the voice of reason. And the toxicity around you does not have to equal what teaches you. It doesn't have to be what teaches you. And I think that's very important because I've had to deconstruct a lot of criticism, disrespect I was putting on myself, um, lack of free will, not allowing myself to express myself, holding myself back, just because I imagined that the words being taught to me in certain areas were the words I had to apply to all areas of my life. And that's simply not the case. Certain words are left for certain things, and certain words and phrases we can just leave altogether. When we mess up, we don't deserve to always be ridiculed, embarrassed, put on blast. A lot of parents do that. What we deserve is to be sat down. Yes, of course, we learn the lessons, we get taught a lesson, but not everything has to be met with such blatant disrespect, harsh words. Sometimes it would be cool to just guide yourself in a lighter way. So that's something that I've come to terms with recently, and I hope that you guys take that into consideration because that inner critic is something that could be buried deep in our subconscious, something that we don't even think about. The ways we talk to ourselves. Take a second to realize the ways that you're holding yourself back and the ways that you're scaring yourself into taking leaps of faith because you decided that the critics around you were the only voices of reason. There are better ways to teach people other than toxicity, other than harsh words. And I hope that you're able to develop your own love language, your own teacher, your own guide. The God that you imagine does not have to be one that's only recognizing your sins. Imagine a God that's recognizing your heart, that's recognizing your love, that's recognizing your beauty. Our inner critic can be our God. And it's very important that you pray on that, meditate on that. The God that you imagine, is he punishing you? Is he or she, they punishing you every day? Or are they rewarding you? Do you imagine that there's a God that can forgive you? Do you imagine that there is a God that can reward you? Do you imagine that your God is proud of you? Or are you imagining that because of the criticisms you grew up on, are you imagining a God that is punishing you? Are you imagining the lessons that you're going through now are punishment or steps for growth? Are you imagining that the hardships that you're going through are punishment and not a season of you gaining the skills you need to move into your next season? Inner critics are it could be buried deep, and it's important. It's imperative that we consider how we speak to ourselves. It's important that we consider how we're psyching ourselves out every day that we wake up. You don't know what you could be holding yourself back from. And that brings me to something that I saw on Instagram just the other day. Are you performing or are you expressing? And with that critic, we can performing in a way that would appease to others, appease to, our parents, appease to our friends, just doing things for other people's validations, doing things to fit in, just to feel like someone is looking at us in a welcoming way. But are you expressing? Are you willing to meet resistance? Expression equals resistance a lot of times because it goes against the grain, it goes against expectations, and that could be a scary thing because you're going to be met with a lot of judgment, a lot of rejection, and if we don't heal those wounds, we're going to be scared of rejection. But no, I welcome that resistance. I welcome rejection. That probably means I'm doing a good thing. That probably means I'm in line with my soul, because not everyone that's around you is going to see you. It's not everyone around you is there for you. Not everyone around you is willing to put up with your own plan. Some people around you are only there for you to put up with their plan. And like I've said before, if you don't form your own plan, you're going to fall into someone else's. So I really hope that you're meditating and staying aligned with your own path. Express yourself. Don't perform for others. And if you're going to perform, make sure you're getting something out of it. Don't just perform every day and leave your soul in the back burner. That you're basically selling your soul. When you put your soul on the back burner and you're performing every day, you're selling your soul. You have now sold your time to someone else's expectations. Doesn't that sound nasty? That sounds gross. That sounds gross. That sounds disgusting. Hello? Hello? But that was really insightful. When I saw those words, I was like, something in me woke up. I'm like, there is more expressing I can do. There is more performing I could put to the side. I can just express. I'm willing to accept resistance. I'm willing to accept rejection. I'm willing to go against the grain. I'm willing to disappoint you. I am willing to disappoint a bunch of people. I am so willing and I'm so ready and I've already done so. And keep being mad. And they're gonna have to keep being mad. Because once you turn around and you make that 180 and you look at yourself and you realize, hey, I'm not putting me first enough, people are gonna be disappointed because where's all this energy? Where you just pulled your energy back. They need that. They needed that. You was just there giving them all this energy and you didn't even realize it till you woke up. Till you realize that the critic in your head was their voice and not yours. Till you realize that you were creating a character of judgment out of other people's criticisms and judgments that they put on your life before. You don't need that. I don't need that. And we're just going to leave that to the side. Goodbye. We're going to talk about finances, right? So we've all gone through tough times, especially nowadays, these days, right? And I brought this up before in a real life term, but let's expand on that. I am actually grateful for the hard times that I have recently faced. I'm not saying that I'm stuck in there. We are getting the fuck out. But what having tight finances does is it really forces you to align with what you really need, and it's like every decision is so much more impactful with your money, which means that you're not willing to try this and try that. You're willing to stick to what works. You're willing to stick to what you're willing to take all the way. Because if you have all the resources, you're gonna waste time just doing whatever you can get your hands on. But when your resources are limited, you're only focusing on what you have to do, what you need to do, and what's working best for you. And I'm grateful for that because having these tight finances really forced me to focus my energy, focus my money, focus all my resources in what I need in order to feel successful, what I need to put my energy, my time into. Because if I had it all, I'd probably try everything, just trying to make it, right? But now I'm forced to do things that's aligned with my gifts, that's aligned with my talent, that's aligned with my beauty, my wellness. So be grateful. It's hard because life is hard, and sometimes it's hard to move past all the distractions, all the sorrow, all the shame that comes from feeling behind. It's hard to move past the distortions, but allow this time of financial insecurity to recalibrate your focus into, hey, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I feel like I can use what I have to get to where I need to be, to where I want to be, to where I feel most successful. Pray on it. Pray on your finances. Ask the universe to show you exactly how to use what's around you. You will never be given a burden you can't handle. Scarcity mindset is a choice. Certain situations are actually scarce. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here to disregard the seriousness of poverty, because some shit is definitely just all bad. I definitely acknowledge that. But at the end of the day, we've all gone through times like that. A lot, most of us have gone through times like that, and we've made it at least a level up. So which means we had something somewhere that helped us get somewhere. And ask the universe to open your eyes up to that something, because it might just be one thing that you have, but use that, even if it's just your phone. Ask the universe to open up your mind to use what you have, because it probably is a little bit, but that little bit can make a lot. And I hope that you're able to see that. Inconsistencies. Back to subconscious. You claim you love yourself, but you're being inconsistent in your self-love. You're showing yourself love and maturity and nurturing and softness in one area, but you don't even realize that you're killing yourself in another area. Look out for that. Pray on that, meditate that, examine yourself. Just as we were talking about earlier with the inner critic. Which ways are you just not being fair to yourself? Notice those inconsistencies. Are you only giving yourself credit for the big things? Are you giving yourself credit for doing something small? Are you forgiving yourself? Are you forgiving yourself as much as you're forgiving others? Because you've been consistent in your ability to forgive others, but are you forgiving yourself? You've been consistent in your ability to acknowledge others' pain, but are you acknowledging your own? You've been consistent in acknowledging other people's need for rest, but are you acknowledging your own need for rest? Acknowledge these consistencies and let's address them. Because you deserve the same love, the same understanding you're giving to others. You deserve, one area of your life deserves the same amount of love and understanding and nurturing that you're giving to others. Different areas of our life, yes, require different levels of attention. But at the end of the day, you still, in all areas of your life, you deserve love, understanding, and a willingness to learn and proceed as you see fit or as is best fit. As usual, let's get into our tarot reading. Let's do it. We got to do this every time. See what the messages are saying. See what's up. Let's see if anything even comes out. I'm going to stop here. Ace of Wands. So we have creative potential, sudden bursts of energy. I feel like, how could we tie this into this message? I feel like whenever we acknowledge our inner critics and we decide to replace the criticism with love, understanding, be our own type of therapist, the weight is lifted and now we are left with freedom, an acknowledgement of where we've held ourselves back. And now we are inspired to, instead of perform for other people's expectations, express in our right to create, express in our right to be great in our own way. That is very inspiring. Change that critic and be inspired. I love that. And what came right under that is Six of Wands is all about public recognition and victory. A lot of people that receive public recognition go against the grain. They're not doing what everybody else does. They're inspiring. They're showing you a side of yourself that is untapped, a side of you that you wouldn't dare to imagine because your mind is now warped by the thoughts and opinions of others. But when you step outside of that, when you bring forth a new idea, that's where your fame lies. That's where your recognition lies. Is you doing something different, something that no one's ever seen before. It's probably in your head right now, but you're just too scared to share it because the world tries to act like it doesn't have space for new ideas, but it praises new ideas. It really does. You just got to stick by it and persist in it and continue to stand firm in it. Don't let anybody sway your artistry. Under that, we have King of Swords. King of Swords is going to speak his mind. King of Swords is sharp and clear in what he wants to do, clear on who he is, and he's going to put that forward. So keep all these three things in mind. Let's change that critic and let's do better, because you got it in you. I got it in me. All we got to do is pull back the layers. Pull back the layers. So what usually comes after the reading is the angel number. On my way back from the liquor stout, I was getting these little candies. Zero sugar. I'm happy. Do they taste amazing? No, but they satisfy the craving, so whatever. Um, 666. Well, we already know. I'm pretty sure in this generation we're pretty past the stigma that 666 has, but it represents balance, harmony. We had the Six of Wands earlier. And an alert for realignment of your mind, especially when we talked about our finances and asking the universe to open our minds to resourcefulness during times of scarcity. I truly received that message because that's definitely a mind I always have to have as I move out of this time and this period of, just having to focus my resources like for real. Because if I fuck up, then yeah, that's definitely a great reminder to realign and balance my thoughts into, yes, take care of yourself, realize where you need to allocate these resources, and understand that it's in you, not on you, girl. Don't you worry about what you don't have, because at the end of the day, that voice is going to move mountains, baby. So that talent of yours is going to move mountains, baby. That money is not everything you need. The clothes and gadgets that you think you need, all that content shit that you think you need, just show up, and the rest will come. That's all I can say. So let's keep that in mind and let's move forward. So y'all remember, right? We've been covering my mocktail. We covered kava. I'm gonna butcher the name again. Dominia. I think it's Dominia. I hope I got it right this time. Oh my god. Domania. So it's pronounced Dominia. I really do. Um, this time we got, and think about it, brought out my water so that we can do this together. But the last herb is hops, known to reduce inflammation, improve sleep quality, enhance your nervous system, and it helps with stuff like irritable bowel syndrome because it reduces inflammation. And yeah, that sleepiness feeling that it gives is obviously going to relax you. So I add that in, and let's together just make a little a little blend of how I would do it. Just straight into a reused Trader Joe cranberry juice bottle. It's fine to me. So I got some water in here, and let's start off. Let's start off in the order that we did it. Damian. It's called Damian. See, I said Domania again. Between us, we're just gonna call it Domania, and then that'll be our inside joke because I can't. So just put that in there, right? Be generous because it's a bunch of water in here. Be generous, and then I'm gonna add my chia seeds later because I like to add chia seeds in there, and I think you know I think it's smart. Still going. Okay, that's about it. So what was that? About little five of these kava. Remember how I said it's like kind of woodsy? Yeah, I should show you how to do it. Y'all saw the Domania looks. Four, what, three, four? I'm just ended there. And then we got the hot. So these come like whole, so they break down. So as I rip it up, it'll become like smaller, and then it'll be like little petals. So put those in there, and then just shake it up. Ooh, I don't want that to fall. Okay, one more. Spirit told me to stop it for one more. I hope they forgive me. What is God telling me to stop doing that I'm not stopping? I hope He forgives me. Shake it up, right? And then let it sit. Let it sit overnight. I still got my other one, but I wanted to do this together with y'all. Y'all just do what I did. Just let it sit. Boom. Easy. Easy. And then you just put it through a strainer. Easy sneezy. Easy sneezy. So, total for the cocktail, as promised. Tomato, kava, hops. Boom. Put that together. That's your little, sip on that instead of sipping on some drink. Make this your drink. I like to still sip on something, so I do that. Incense from Dollar Tree. Now I went to Dollar Tree, and I had a great time. First of all, I was looking for laxative pills. TMI, I don't give a fuck. And that location usually don't carry them, but something told me to pray, and I know it's little, but I'm still praising the Lord. I'm about to find the happiness everywhere, babe. I looked behind me after praying. I was like, God, look, I feel like there's a laxative here, but I feel like I know I don't see it, but I feel like there's one here. Sure enough, there's one there, and I'm trying to look for where it could have came from. I'm trying to, and I don't see no other laxatives in it, but that one. I'm like, ooh, this must have been the last one somebody forgot about a long time ago, and I'm like, ooh. So that's one good blessing I got today, earlier, from going to Dollar Tree. Before I get into my point, I got a bunch of these chips. I'm gonna include them right here, bro. These chips terrible for you, vegan, but terrible for you because the red 40 is off the charts. But do they taste amazing? I'm a savory girly. I do have I do crave sweetness, but I definitely love my salt. Love salt. I'm probably gonna have high blood pressure when I get older. Love it. Oh, I love salt. Oh my god. Oh, I can't do it if I don't have no salt. Um, they're fire. So I got 10. Judge me not, because what happens is people know that they're good. So when they put them, they grab it, they teeth it, they grab it, they teeth it, they whatever. And I had to get mine. So me and the cashier was chatting about it. He was like, "Are these good?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" And we were talking about how we tried the spicy guac ones. I tried those the other day. Those are really good. They're even better than the regular guac ones. Um, he was like, "I should try them if there's some left." I was like, "Bro, there's still a bunch left. Just get them now because people be taking them." I'm telling you, bro, I've been waiting for them to come at this location for hella long, and I'm just like, "Oh, so let me make sure I come to Dollar Tree at the first like at the first week of the month every month because they had a bunch of other stuff too that I was like, ooh." So I had a great time at Dollar Tree, and I be buying up their incense, so this is partly my fault. But I would recommend if you're looking for, because setting the environment for our meditations and just setting up a cool vibe in our places is great. These are the flavors that I've tried. These are the two I got today. Jasmine is my favorite, so I just grabbed them because there was only 3 left, and I grabbed these two. And they had 2 of these and 1 of this, so I grabbed 1 of each. And I noticed when I got home that it was jasmine. I was like, another blessing. I love jasmine. Jasmine is my favorite, so I got that going. And I'm just so grateful. But I said I to say this. If you're looking for like a cheap alternative for incense, they said that they're handmade, so I still feel like it's pretty ethical. And they make the environment just feel so spiritual because it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And aromatherapy that's one of my favorite therapies. I like sage all the time. I got a diffuser with peppermint oil in here. When you come into my spot, it smells amazing all the time, all the time, all the time. And so do I. That's my little tip to you. A little gift for your mental health. Mental health doesn't have to cost a fortune. Go to Dollar Tree and get some incense. Grab a candle. Do I want to talk about this? Maybe. So I was asleep last night because I put a bunch of bay leaves. I burned bay leaves, and when it gets to the little very end, I put them in my candle. And so I do the same thing with sage leaves that fall apart from the bundle. And it got to the end of the candle, so it was just burnt up leaves. And bro, I'm asleep. When I tell you, bro, I heard a woke the fuck up, and the fire is it's a big ass flame coming through the little holder, bro. Look how black it is in there. Look, bro. I'm telling you, the flame. I'm like, oh my god, my curtains are right there, and I'm like, oh my god, bro. Thank the Lord for waking me up, bro, because that could have been a disaster. Disaster. So I'm grateful that that happened. Thank God for that. So just blessings on blessings on blessings. Count your blessings, baby, because when you count them, you'll just see how many there are every day. Every day. Count what you're able to do for yourself. Count you eating a healthy meal. Count you drinking your water. Count you getting your steps in. Count whatever, man. Count you thinking a positive thought. Count you replacing a bad thought with a positive one. Count you recognizing your thought. Count you recognizing a pattern, deciding to make a different decision. Count all of that. You are your own blessing, baby.